Russell Westbrook, and there's no insult to Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook is unguardable.
This guy's played historical basketball.
He played me like I did.
That's a man.
Yeah, he's bad.
You know, if you don't respect and admire Russell Westbrook, there's something wrong with you.
This may be the greatest single season performance we ever seen.
I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like this man, Russell Westbrook.
NBA Most Valuable Player Award is Russell Westbrook.
He's a delusional ball hog. He doesn't play defense, defend a shot, because he cheats to get rebounds to pad his stats.
Thunder have traded their star, Russell Westbrook, to the Houston Rockets.
Rockets have agreed to trade Russell Westbrook to Washington.
The Washington Wizards agreeing to send that man, Russell Westbrook, to the Lakers.
But this is classic, vintage, careless, out of control Russell Westbrook. No conscience. You think he lost any sleep last night?
It's hard for LeBron to overcome Russell Westbrook.
Kanye Westbrook.
Just how many bricks that Westbrook laid last night?
And as one source told me, you remove a vampire from the locker room. That meaning the vampire sucks the blood out of the locker room. Russell Westbrook moves on.
This is the beginning of the end for Russell Westbrook.
There's a lot going on around the league right now. Ja went from the league's new favorite young superstar to league villain in record time. The Western Conference playoffs are insanely tight, and the Lakers might actually be good again. And LeBron's not even playing. And what I want to talk about today is slightly or strongly, depending on how you feel about it, connected to that last one. The Lakers at the trade deadline were 25-30, looking like they were going to waste another year of LeBron, and he's getting late into his career, so he doesn't got a lot of those left. Now, just over a month later, they're 33-35, and just 2 games as I record this out of the 6th seed. This didn't happen out of nowhere though. The Lakers made a lot of moves at the deadline, adding Rui, D'Lo, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt to the rotation, and they've been looking good together since coming over in most games. In one of those moves, they moved a certain former All-Star that people have said all along, some fans and analysts had said all along, was not a good fit for the team. And some others had called a pariah, locker room cancer, and even a vampire. Before we get into it though, I just really want to say I really appreciate any support I've been getting on the videos. So let me know what you think about this video down in the comment section. And if you enjoy the rest of this video, maybe consider hitting subscribe. I'm on the road to 1,000 right now, and I really want to grow this community. And I want to grow this community enough to where I can create a Discord for a future video idea I have. And you know, also because sub button's free. Why not? Why not hit it, right? Anyways, let's get back to it. No more dancing around the point. Let's talk Russell Westbrook. The timeline of his career the last few years has been pretty rough. Going from the MVP in OKC, getting Paul George and thinking we had a super team there, to Paul George wanting out of Oklahoma City, OKC realizing they paid Russ a contract they probably shouldn't have, and trading him to Houston, and having a statistically solid season in Houston, but come playoff time, they really weren't competitive in that second round series against the Lakers. And then that 1-year stint in Washington on that horrible Wizards squad where he would have months where he was electric and then months where he was unwatchable. And then this team in LA, a year and a half removed from a championship, believes enough in Russ to go out and trade for him, despite the concerns of many on how he may fit with the team and, more importantly, the 2 superstars. It was clear from early on last season that the Russell Westbrook experiment on the Lakers wasn't working. Like many, including me, easily saw coming as soon as the trade happened. I don't know how either Rob Pelinka or LeBron himself doesn't know by now, but the King is better with shooters around him and a good big man down low. AD fills that good big man spot, but when you bring another ball-dominant, slashing-type player who's not a good shooter to the team at the 1 spot, that leaves you with only 2 spots left in the lineup for good shooters. And the contract situation that Russ brought to the team made it pretty hard to fill those spots. Let's not be stat nerds. The play on the court wasn't good. Let's just be honest. All right, he'd have a few good games here and there, but the athleticism just wasn't the same anymore, and his jump shot was not falling, and it was a liability alongside LeBron. So when a new coach comes in and obviously didn't fix the situation, the trade had to happen for the good of the Lakers and for the good of Westbrook himself. That's because from day one, the criticism has been there. First Take, Skip and Shannon, Colin Cowherd, and the rest of sports talk shows have been on his ass since the day he got here. And that's not just because he's Russ and he was already a highly criticized player. His play style is a bit erratic at times, his lack of winning production at times. He won an MVP as a 7 seed, but also because now he was playing for the Lakers. Playing for the Lakers ain't easy. Not only are you in the second biggest media market in the US, you're playing for the most successful franchise in league history and the biggest brand in basketball. So not only are you going to have the largest fan base on your back, you're going to have a toxic minority, but a loud toxic minority of that fan base hating on you for every bad game you have. Every sports talk show is going to be talking about the team week in, week out because it gets the best ratings. Every random with a podcast and every NBA YouTuber like me because it gets the most clicks. It comes with the territory, and it wouldn't be a problem if the talk stopped at game. The problem is delusional, basement-dwelling fans take it too far, constantly. These fans take the attacks to a personal level. It was like that with Danny Green when he missed a game-winning shot in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. It was like that with Dwight Howard in his first stint with the team. Hell, it was even like that with Kobe when they felt like it was his fault that Shaq left. But now TV analysts and Twitter reporters know that they can get engagement off of perpetuating this Russ hate. Because this loud, still minority, but loud section of fans is still large enough to support it. And anyone who disagrees with comments calling Russell Westbrook a pariah and a vampire are still engaging with the tweet by quote tweeting it. And this, along with the usual death threats and insane insults from a few psychotic fans, is the problem with NBA discourse. You can't separate the game and the player Russell Westbrook from the person Russell Westbrook. For a long time now, I've been a person that has thought Russell Westbrook's game, as fun and exciting as he was to watch at his peak, doesn't particularly lend itself to winning games. Like I said, when the trade happened, I didn't like it. It was so obviously not a good fit and a horrible contract. He was bad while on the team, took shots that frustrated me when I watched, turned over the ball, and the Lakers sucked because they had no other help. Those can all be valid criticisms of him on the court while also not insulting the man like I know him, like he bullied me in high school or something, which is how some of y'all act. As far as I know, Westbrook the man is a great person, father, and businessman. There's been nothing, as far as I'm aware, that can take away from his character. Maybe other than how he responds to the media, but I mean, look how the media treats him. I don't really blame him. So when fans are doing this, that's always going to happen. Would it be nice if it stopped? Sure. But is it ever? No, not in any fan base, not fully. But when it's media members that are doing this, I find it pretty ridiculous and pretty desperate. The obvious and most important consequence is Russ's mental health and the emotions of his family. The other consequence is someone like me can't even say anything remotely negative about Westbrook anymore without being called a hater and lumped in with the rest of the other assholes who are personally attacking him. You can't just call everyone you disagree with a hater, but that's all I ever see Westbrook stands doing. Maybe that's all they have at this point, I don't know. But he's flamed out of 4 straight situations. 4 different teams in 4.5 years. Aging is hitting him fast, and it was so obvious from the jump that this partnership in LA was not going to work. He's a turnover-heavy player that doesn't shoot the ball well, and is losing his best ability, his athleticism. All of that can be true without me being a Westbrook hater. That's just being a realist. That's just watching the games. But I can say all of that without having to call him a team pariah or a locker room cancer or a vampire. It's such a weird thing to call somebody, by the way. Why a vampire? I still don't understand. So when we talk NBA, unless we're talking character issues off the court like Ja right now, let's keep it to what they're showing on the court, if that's what we're talking about. But Russ fans, you also got to be able to realize where he's at in his career right now. I'm not saying you can't be a fan, just maybe acknowledge that some of the critiques of his game over the years have kind of proven out to be true. And me stating that and having that opinion doesn't mean I hate him and wish any harm on his family. And I know there's a lot out there like that, but you can't just pretend that everybody who doesn't want Russ on their team is a hater. And for the actual haters out there, call your mother. She's worried. I know you live in her basement, but you haven't come out in 16 days and you only open the door for her to make the daily drop-off of $21 DoorDash wings and a large Dr. Pepper. She just wants to see you. I know these guys are getting paid millions of dollars, but you gotta realize these are still people. Try to have that realization and try to rein in the hate. I know it's easy to just see these guys as famous people and their feelings don't get hurt, right? But they were normal people too before. All right, just try to have a little compassion. That's all I'm saying. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate any support I get. Last few videos haven't been doing as well as the first few, but I'm gonna continue to post. You can tell I'm also sick again. Not the same sickness as the last video, but I got sick over spring break again. So hopefully for my next video I'm not sick, I'm not stuffed up, my voice is back to normal, but I couldn't wait to upload this video, to get this recorded, so just wanted to get this out. Anyways, thanks. Peace.